Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at the TimeGuessr. This is a game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge, and I embarrass myself with my complete lack of both. Anyway, hopefully not, but we'll see. We'll be given 5 photos, just like this one. This is the first one. And for each photo, we have to say when in history was it taken. We've got this slider here, anytime from 1900 to today. But we've also got a map, so we have to put a pin on it to say where in the world was it taken. So, really difficult sometimes on either history or geography or both. And of course, you get more points the closer you are on both scales. So, let's see how we get on. I'm aiming for 2/3, roughly, as always. Let's see if we can hit it today. I mean, this is quite an easy start, you'd hope. That's the Bosnian flag. So hopefully, we're in Bosnia. We can zoom in, of course. There's not going to be a date on the paper, is there? That would be far too helpful. I don't know what's going on in that picture. I mean, I don't know if I should recognise any of these people. And I cannot read Serbian, so I cannot even begin to guess what that might say over here. It might be one of the Yugoslavian people being put on trial for war crimes, or it might be a happy celebration about the independence of Bosnia. I really don't know, and it's quite difficult to tell what's going on here. Ponovi. That looks like the same word that appears up here, so I think that's the same phrase. But it still doesn't help because I don't know what it is. Mostar, I'm pretty sure that is a place in Bosnia, so I think we're going to have to go for Bosnar. I don't know what year, let's just go 2013, why not? Right, so we're not going for Sarajevo. I would be very annoyed if it turns out to be Sarajevo, because if I hadn't zoomed in, that would obviously be where I would go for. But I recognised the place name of Mostar, so we've got to go for that, I think. And if this gets me some bonus points by being slightly closer, then I'll be really happy. Let's just plonk it there. Oh, should we go there? Should we go near the Museum of War and Genocide? That's a nice happy place. I was 4 years off. Bosnian citizens living in Mostar watching a live TV broadcast of judgments being handed down for war crimes. I knew it was going to be something about war crimes and the breakup of Yugoslavia. I was 4 years off, it was 2017, but it's measured in metres, so I'm very close on the location. Very happy with that, I got most of that right. Now, what's going on here? Can we see any flags to say what country this might be? There's a star. Could well be Ghana. Or, I mean, Black Star Square, it could just be a star because that's the name of the square. It might be nothing to do with the country, but I feel like Ghana is plausible. What is going on here? That sort of looks like the 3 lions on the England football shirt, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the shining reflection of something metallic. I mean, this really could be a market in any city, couldn't it? But I also don't know what year. I think, again, it looks pretty recent, so we'll go 2014 this time. And I will zoom into Ghana. I mean, I'm thinking maybe it was when South Africa hosted the World Cup, which obviously would be in South Africa and not in Ghana. But I've got nothing else pointing to South Africa, and I at least do have one bit of evidence that points to Ghana, so we'll go for Accra. At least we'll be in the right continent if it does turn out to be South Africa. Oh, it was Accra. It was measured in metres again. Wow, I'm really good on the locations so far. It's all downhill from here. It was last week, or last year. I did not think it would be that recent, as I kind of assume that if it's going to be post-2020, there's going to be at least one person in a face mask, but clearly not. But we were not a million miles away. Oh, we're going to be a million miles away on this one, though. Black and white ones are always really hard, and this looks really ancient. This is not a high-quality photograph. What do we know? Olaf Florence and Hanska. I mean, Olaf sounds Scandinavian. Hanska sounds German. I mean, if that says Victoria Tea Room, then that sounds English, but I'm not convinced that last word is tea room. Maybe it's just because I'm British and it's in my nature to see tea everywhere. I don't even drink it. That is that the Danish flag or the Norwegian flag? It's always super difficult when it's in black and white. I feel like I really should know. No, Danish flag is just red and a white cross. It doesn't have this double thing, so it is going to be Norway or maybe Iceland. I think I'm going to have to go for Oslo. But the question is, what year? I mean, this could easily be pre-World War II, feels likely. It's going to be pre-World War One? I have no idea. I mean, there's a cart, but there's a lot more horses and carts than cars. I think let's go pre-war. Let's go 1913, and let's go Oslo, and let's hope I'm not completely ridiculous. I was 1926. I was close. Roald Amundsen waving to crowds in Oslo. It's measured in meters again. Wow. I've never had 3 consecutive location guesses that have been so good. I was 13 years off again with the year, so not brilliant, but not a complete disaster. I mean, at least it was pre-World War II. I wasn't like several decades off. It could have been worse. I could well be several decades off on this, because these ones are always tricky. It could be an early black and white photo in the 60s, or an early colour photo, like from the 50s or 60s, or it could just be a really bad quality photo in the 90s. I don't feel like it's going to be 90s though, surely not. Przezim Czeszki, is that Czech? I mean, they do have these things on the letters in Czech. I don't know if I'm going to get any more information out of this, so I feel like I might as well go Czech Republic if nothing else. It's fairly central in Europe, so as long as it is somewhere in Europe, I'll get quite a few points, and surely it's going to have to be Europe. But what year do we think? I mean, I'm tempted to leave it on 62, but I think it's more likely to be 70s than 50s, which means I might just move it back a little bit. We'll try 70. I mean, it could be 80s. Let's move it back a little bit more. Right, let's... I was going to say let's just go for the capital, but let's be rebels. We'll go for Pilsen, because the N in Pilsen has got an accent on it, just like the things here, so maybe that's a sign. I don't know. Oh, it was Prague. I should have just gone for Prague, and then I'd have kept up my rate of getting the location spot on every time. But 52 miles away is not too bad. It was 1960. I should have just left it at 62, gone with my first instinct. Ah, Wenceslas Square. Wow, that's a very famous name. I'm not sure I would have known that it was in Prague, even though I may well have been to the square, so I probably should know. It looks different nowadays, that's my excuse. Anyway, at least we got some points for year and quite a few points for location, so not a disaster again. Oh, and we're finishing with a really colourful one. This feels pretty recent, which hopefully will make it easier. I cannot see any obvious clues, so I mean, it's got to be in America, hasn't it? Southwest Indian art. So, does that mean we're talking southwest of the country, Arizona? Or southwest of a state? Where is Teddy Bear Country? That feels like it would be whatever state Teddy Roosevelt was from. But my American history is not good enough to remember where he was from. Ah, Fort Worth. That makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? Because I feel like there's got to be a Fort Worth. That rings a bell. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know why it said southwest, because if it's this Fort Worth, then it's nowhere near the southwest. Let's go for the year first. I always like to go for the year first, because if you don't put your pin on the map, you can't accidentally press this button, whereas as soon as you put the pin, you might accidentally press this before you've selected the year. Right, what year do we think? 90s or 80s or early 2000s? This doesn't look anywhere near as recent as the first two that we had. But it is in colour, so it's obviously not going to be ancient. I think it's got to be more recent than the previous one that was in the 60s. 1993? I mean, they're holding bottles of drink. They're not holding cameras or camera phones, which would make it a lot easier to date. Nobody's taking a picture. I think I'm going to stick with 93. Fort Worth Dockyards. If I zoom in, is it going to find me the dockyards? Maybe? Fort Worth Water Gardens. It's just going to be the main street in Fort Worth, isn't it? So let's plonk it there. Surely we're close. Wow! I got the year spot on and the location. I was just on the wrong road, but we were... I mean, I knew we were in the right city because it's got the name, so that was pretty easy, but I did not expect to get the year spot on. Wow, that's a great one to end with. Over 40,000! That might be... I might have got over 40,000 before on camera, so that might be my second best ever solo attempt that I've had on camera. Very happy with that. That's over 80%. I mean, I know some of those were relatively easy, but still, I usually find something to mess up, but not today. That is so much better than my last few attempts. Let me know how you got on with these ones. That is TimeGuessr. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.